live with von Willebrand disease, which is under hemophilia. I believe I'm a champion because it took me a very long time to know that I have hemophilia or I have VWD. This is because I used to nosebleed a lot. And also when I started getting my menses, it used to take a long period and heavier. So when my brother also started having these symptoms to a point where he nosebleed and we were forced to take him to Kenyatta because he was not conscious. He stayed in Kenyatta for around 2 months before he was diagnosed with VWD. And afterwards is when also I went to see my brother just at the moment when he was admitted, and I started nosebleeding and it could not stop. At that time is when they decided to do a test for both of us, and they found out that he has VWD and also I have VWD.
Von Willebrand disease is as a result of a missing von Willebrand's factor, which is also a protein that is necessary to anchor cells onto the wall. So when you damage your blood vessel, you expose von Willebrand's factor, which is a protein that is used to anchor the platelets onto the wall. So when you injure the blood vessel and you expose von Willebrand's factor, it is actually the von Willebrand's factor that attracts the platelets and anchors the platelet onto the area, the site of injury. And by so doing, it recreates an activation activity leading to more platelets getting attracted to that site, so that then you stop bleeding. So when you don't have von Willebrand's factor, what potentially happens is that you have this continuous flow or loss of blood, okay, because you are unable to anchor the platelet onto the right place. And so both patients would present with bleeding.
When you have bruises, it takes too long to heal. Yeah, you just see the place where the bruise is very red and it takes too long to heal. Number two, when you get your menstrual period, it takes a longer time and even the clots are heavier. Yeah, and also the nosebleeds take too long to be controlled. Even when you do the normal way that we are taught to do first aid, do the nosebleed, it takes too long. It can also cause your HP levels to be down and you get anemia. Like for me, because I have a child, it was a very, let me say, worse experience or hectic experience because I used to bleed a lot during the pregnancy, especially at the first trimester of my pregnancy. And I used to go for factor injections several times. During my delivery also, it was a bad experience because I went to Kenyatta to be given factor because I was bleeding at the moment, and they just found out that I could not go home. I have to deliver because if I went home, I could lose my baby. I managed through getting factor, von Willebrand's factor. Factor is an infusion that you are given when you have the heavy bleeds. Yeah, in hemophilia, there are different factors that a person lacks in the blood to control the bleeding. Yeah, so maybe one lacks factor 8 or factor 9. Like for me, I lack the VWF factor and the factor 8 in my blood. So I used to search much about hemophilia, used to link with people about hemophilia. That's when I was introduced to a certain lady called Cheryl D'Ambrosio, who made my life easier because he linked me to a group called My Girl's Blood. It's a group for women all over the world who have bleeding disorders. So there is when I managed to go for the World Federation Hemophilia Congress, and I was tested there to have the type 2, von Willebrand's. I could say that awareness is not there completely, because for the last meetings, let's say since when I knew I have VWD, that is more than 6 years ago, the only person I've met with is a lady called Sandra. She's a small girl. She was tested to have hemophilia, and she is the only one who has been attending the Hemophilia Association meetings with. So I can say awareness is not there completely. Like for me, since I believe I'm a champion, I agree to talk more about it so that other people can be aware about it. Factors are more given to men than the ladies. So for the ladies, like for me, I used to use tranexamic acid more to control my bleeds than going for the factors. And like 3 years ago, after Dr. Kibet, we met with Dr. Kibet and we knew about the status, so they used to order for VWD factor. I could get it. And also when I went to the US, I was given a lot of factor, came back with. My dad has it. Yeah, so we inherited from him. Okay.